Sure. No. Yeah, really excited to chat, talk today and share a little bit more about Adams Brown. But yeah, just quickly a little bit about me, kind of the history of the path that I've taken with the firm. Kind of started in kind of a traditional staff, I'm licensed CPA, client facing, client servicing. Early in my career, just kind of a jack of all trades, very much a general practitioner in helping clients of many industries. Actually started out of our McPherson, Kansas location, spent about 5 years there, and then got an opportunity to come down and start running our Wichita office, which at the time um, I believe was made up of about seven total employees. And so our Wichita office, that was in, I guess I came to Wichita at the end of 2014. I think as we sit here today, our Wichita, kind of the collection of all of our team members here in the Wichita area are pushing about 100. So
Wow.
we've had a lot of success in the Wichita market. Um, my family and I moved to Wichita in 2015 and have since come to really love the community. Created a lot of friends. Kids are very, very involved. All the sports. So we stay very busy with kids events outside of work. But a couple of the other roles that I took on within the firm over the next string of years, kind of wore the hat of a regional manager. So we went through several different iterations of kind of operating structure, if you will. Initially, office manager. Then from the office manager, we created a regional manager, and then ultimately, then we went to uh, an operating structure based on service line and industry. So service line industry operating model, and we created what we call the vice president role, which I also uh, was in the vice president role for 2 years before I then kind of took over managing partner role here in June of 23. So just got a few months under my belt with the managing partner title, but I've had several roles there where I've got some amount of experience helping to lead and coach our other partners of the firm, other significant leaders of the firm. So
So vice president is not a term you get to hear too often in accounting firms. What did that look like? COO type of role, a little bit different, starting to remove some of that client responsibility.
so yes, it was the kind of stair stepping a little bit out of some client responsibility and very much kind of an operations focus. So again, very closely working with the leaders of our tax, our audit, our client accounting services, wealth management. So again, working with all of our service line leaders as well as we have what we call four kind of our tier one industry focus groups, which again, we have a named leader and a fully formed team focused within those industries. And so those were kind of that was kind of the layer of our leadership that I was really directly working with on kind of a weekly basis.
It's
Yep.
a great framework and foundation for somebody like in your role today from 2015, to 2023 to take over, continue scaling growth. I know a lot of firms are struggling with governance infrastructure right now and really thinking about that type of model. Talk a little bit more about Adams Brown, who you guys are, what you focus on, where you're located. I know you have about 12 or 14 offices across a few states.
Yeah, so we actually have 14 offices as of today. It seems like it changes regularly, but we just added two new locations within the last month, bringing in a merger. And so brought in a great group of professionals with that merger. Also gained us a footprint in Manhattan, Kansas, which home to Kansas State University, which we're really excited about some of the recruiting opportunities that's going to open up to us in addition to just the great talent we've got and kind of access to a new market there. But yeah, 14 offices, got two in Arkansas, so 12 in Kansas, two in Arkansas. Um, the one in Little Rock, Arkansas, is actually our first foray into hanging a shingle, where we really just focused on talent. We had three or four remote team members that were working in that area, just kind of happenstance. It ended up that way. And we said, hey, what if we get some brick and mortar, allow you guys to come in, kind of create a culture there and help us attract more. we're trying to go out there and win the talent war, and that was a new tactic that we've not really tried before. And so kind of hung the shingle with the focus just on talent, not necessarily on business development. But again, open doors to, I think there is like 7 colleges and universities kind of in that short geographic range of our Little Rock office there, that it sort of opened a new door to recruiting out of those colleges. So yeah.
It's a great philosophy. I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago, in the private equity space, and I asked them, I said, well, what business are you going into, as you're building your platform? And they said, well, you would think it's accounting, but it's really talent. Today, that's the business we're in, is talent. Who can, win with the best talent. So from a strategic perspective, a lot of that doesn't necessarily, go back to hanging a shingle when you have remote workers. But in this case, the culture element is really important. And this is something we were talking about. 14 offices, in a firm. How many people in total?
So our my chief people officer, who leads our HR team, she likes to call it. She says belly buttons. So how many total belly buttons? We have somewhere around 300 and 330, 340. I think FTEs, once you pull down for some seasonal and some reduced schedule workers, I think FTEs were probably somewhere right around 290 ish. So